everybody, and welcome to the Positively Dizzy podcast. I'm Kimberly Bouchard, the author of the Positively Dizzy book series and your host of the show. I am so happy to be back. Happy New Year, you guys. And we've got nowhere to go but up, I think, from here. And so excited to be back and talk to you a little bit about my trip. I can't believe it's been 2 weeks. I've been back already. I don't know where that time went. And looking forward to talking with my two lovely guests about the Disney College program that honestly, I have no regrets about my life, but I think that would have been really cool to do during high school or after high school, I should say. At any rate, welcome again. And we are live on Friday evenings at this time because my tech guy has classes on the other night. So this was the best night that we could do it. So I'm glad you could join me. And anybody that isn't able to join me can also watch it on the replay on YouTube and Spotify and iHeartRadio and all of those good places. I want to also thank my sponsor, Michelle McEwen, over at Years of Experience. If you want to reach out to her for that future Disney vacation or a curated vacation, which can take you to all kinds of parts in the world, eventually, you could reach her at mmckeown at themousexperts.com and let her know that I sent you. She's a lovely person to work with and would make your vacation extra magical wherever you go in the world. You can also reach her at 735-1779 as well. Well, guys, let's get to it. So normally I wouldn't go back to the parks during the busiest time of year, the Christmas vacation time. But, things are a little bit different. And I thought, well, I was going to go check it out this year. Well, to my surprise, it was actually a lot busier than when we first went in August, and so much so that we barely got on any of the attractions. And if we wanted to get on the attractions, we had to get up at like 6:30 in the morning, which I don't know about you guys, but I mean, I will get up at that time, but it was kind of like 3:30 in the morning our time, and it took me a little while to kind of get into that groove. But it was we did have a great time, and there's some really different things there. I was really surprised to see that Rise of the Resistance actually had a virtual queue you could get on at 7 a.m., which I thought was great because then not everybody's like hightailing it to the park and then trying to all get on like at 10 in the morning or as soon as you're in the park. So that worked out well. And we got on there. We were like boarding group number 39. So that was pretty cool. And as anybody knows that have been to Hollywood Studios as of late, you want to go and get on that Minnie and Mickey Railroad if you've got your ticket to ride the Rise of the Resistance as well. So you get onto those two right away. Something that I'm really hoping, I don't know when they're going to bring them back, but fast passes. As I said, we didn't get onto a lot of attractions because I don't do super long lines. When we got into Animal Kingdom 10 minutes after 8 when the park had opened, and there was already a 95-minute wait for Flight of Passage. So we did not go on that. And actually, we never got on any attractions at Epcot, but we did do something a little different and a little fun that I'll tell you about in a second. Welcome, Michael. Thank you. I'm so glad to see you virtually, Michael. Thanks for popping in tonight. So something that I'm super excited about that I will tell you before I talk to you about our Epcot experiences is I have officially started writing book 6. I was information gathering and interviewing all kinds of folks. Really some amazing stories. Actually, they're all amazing, but I am officially started writing, and that book will be out sometime later this year before Thanksgiving. That's all I can say right now. I'm pretty stoked about it. So just be watching for that, and I'll give you guys updates because there's some other things going to be happening as well. Big hi to Jesselyn, who I just met. She was a former cast member. She's actually going to be in book 6, and she lives about 20 minutes from me. So how fun is that? Because as you know, I interview all over the world as far as Australia, and to actually connect with somebody and interview them almost as my neighbor was pretty cool. Anyways, on to Epcot before we get on to our guests. I did, I think some of you guys might have seen the Gideon Bakehouse cookie tasting. You might have seen the cookie stroll cookies from Epcot, the holiday cookies I did a tasting for right in the tent, and they started to play the piano. So I was really had to hurry it up the last couple of minutes. But anyways, it was so much fun to do something different at Epcot. Every time I go to a park, there's always a different experience. And that cookie stroll was one of them. But something that I didn't show you because it was actually en route to my house was the adorable little cookie jar that the holiday stroll cookies could be placed in. And that arrived, that was actually waiting for me at home when I got home. But I just love like little Chip and Dale. It's just so cute. And I will not forget my cookie stroll and make sure that I put some special cookies in there at Christmas next year. So that was really fun. I just want to welcome Dee on. Thanks, Dee, for joining us tonight. It's nice to see you too. Another thing that we did, so I don't know about you, but I still really love Frozen. I love the soundtrack. I love the story. I love Olaf. I love Sven. Those are my two favorite characters. And so all around Epcot, they had Olaf in different places. So what you could do is you could buy, it's called Olaf Holiday Tradition Expedition. And they had various stickers here. And when you got to the various pavilions, like they give you little hints and stuff like that. And then you would actually attach the sticker around. And it would tell you a little bit about the symbol behind the sticker and so on and so forth. And you could actually take photos of Olaf in different places. So he might be on the roof or in the grass or whatever. So I managed to get a few photos of him. But once you filled your card out, you could actually go to the gift shop that intersected the World Showcase and where the pathway to the future world. And you could choose one of three cups, actually. So I got this really cute little Olaf cup, a little holographic, and it's like he's got these little cutouts of his pals. And so I thought that was kind of fun that they offered that at the end as a little bit of an incentive. Something else that I wanted to show you as well. This is actually at Animal Kingdom, and I had seen someone put up information about the different, I guess, merchandise to do with the Disney dogs or Disney cats, whatever you are, or maybe you're both, but they had ones for dogs and one for cats. And I mean, I'm a dog person. I have 4 dogs. And so I bought this shirt that has all of the Disney character dogs on it. And I could not resist the water bottle that is so adorable. It's even got the little dog that is the cushion. And I love the gradient coloring. But something that was just sort of like the icing on the cake is at the top, you actually see a paw of a dog. And so I got one of these, and friends that were still there, I managed to have them pick up one for my daughter because we are huge dog lovers. So we have matching water bottles. We are just about ready for our college program, but I wanted to share one more little thing because my husband is really amazing with little surprises here and there. You know, we just got back from vacation and he had ordered something for me before then, and it was so adorable. And you guys know that I am a huge Donald Duck person. And so he got me the most adorable cell phone case, a Donald Duck cell phone, and Daisy Duck is on there as well. And I've got the pop socket on here. I actually have never owned a pop socket, and I was debating whether I'd even put it on there because I like to put my phone in a cradle to just charge. And I thought, what the heck? I'll just do it the old-fashioned way with the plug at the bottom and use the little pop socket. And it goes different ways, so you can lean your phone. But I just really loved it, and it was just so adorable and so bright and so cheerful. So I just wanted to share that with you. Michael says, has Sultan the Footstool on there. Yes, I could not remember the name of that character, Sultan, which I think is a wonderful name for a dog. If anybody is looking for a particular name, a Disney dog name. Anyways, guys, feel free as usual if you have any questions that you want to ask our guests to just comment or whatever, and I'll do my best to bring them on. I've got two guests. I've got one guest, lovely young woman by the name of Kimmy. And I thought it was sure meant to be because I actually used to be called Kimmy when I was younger. And then as an adult, my dad would call me Kimmy as a term of endearment. And I have actually a couple of friends in Canada that still kind of call me that once in a while. So it just was really fun to know that that's her name, her real name, and that's what she goes by. So we're going to get her on the line first. She did a college program not too long ago. And then we're going to have another lady on the show that did the college program several years ago. And we're going to just kind of compare notes and see, from two different perspectives, of about 10 plus years apart, and see maybe how it's changed, how it's evolved, and each of their experiences. So we're going to just get Kimmy on the line here. Kimmy actually just moved back to Orlando. So we're going to get her on the line here in a second. We're just dialing. Hi, Kimmy. Welcome to the show.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on tonight. And I'm so excited to talk to you. First of all, because we share the same name, at least when I was younger, as you remember. But I thought I'd start off with you telling the audience a little bit first. What year did you do the college program, and how did that all come about?
Yeah, so I did the college program in 2018, right after I graduated college. So I went in and I started in late August and ended early January.
Okay.
It was something that I've always wanted to do my entire life, work at Disney. It was the only vacations I ever wanted to go on. I thought I knew everything about the park, and you don't know anything until you work there.
Oh, okay. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it's just something that I've always wanted to do. And I had initially got into the program in 2015, but I kind of decided to finish out college first.
Okay.
So yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Now, so you knew about the college program back in 2015. So can you walk us through how you applied and the process it involved as far as then hiring you?
Yeah, absolutely. So initially, when you first apply, all you do is you go online and you find a DCP website,
Okay.
and you'll just fill out an application.
Okay.
And the first application has a questionnaire, and this is kind of where they teeter out the first round of people that they don't want, that don't really match their values. It's a basic questionnaire you would kind of take for a job. Strongly agree, strongly disagree type of thing.
Okay.
And then you find out right away if you moved on, and they will set up a time to call you and you'll speak with a recruiter. And then you'll speak with the recruiter, they'll ask you questions, kind of find what they think is the best fit for you as far as the job goes.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are Disney material,
Okay.
and then you'll hear back. I heard back it was about a month and a half that you get in and you'll find out your job, and it was really exciting.
Oh my gosh. Now tell us what you did for a position there.
Yeah, I was a park greeter at Epcot. So when you go in and you do your biometric, that's what I did.
Okay. Now, and I mean, there's two entrances to the park. So did you work at both of them then, or were you stationed just primarily at one, or how did that work?
So primarily you're usually just up at the front, but you do get put back at International Gateway. We call IG, which is my favorite. It was my favorite place to be. but so I would always try to trade my shifts to be back there. But
Oh.
once you're trained to do that job, you can work in any park.
Oh, really? Okay, so it's a sort of a
Hmm.
blanket training as far as greeters go for which makes sense. You're either going to be able to say hello properly and help people or not, right?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Now, tell me, what was it like your first day? I mean, so for actually, let's back up. You said you always wanted to be a part of the college program. So you had visited the park numerous times before, did you? Or
Oh my gosh, yes.
oh,
That was probably one of our main vacations was Disney World when I was little.
okay.
I couldn't even tell you how many times.
Oh, that's
Uh,
wonderful.
yeah.
Eh,
Um,
Go ahead.
no, you can go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, so, okay, so you found out about the program. And what was it like for you the first day when you arrived on campus there?
Yeah, so the first day it's kind of overwhelming because you're moving into your dorm room essentially with
Mhm.
people you've never met before, and you don't actually start working for about, I would say I didn't start working for about a week and a half to 2 weeks because you have to go through traditions, you have to go through whatever park you're at, you have to go through a training day. So we called it Discovery Day at Epcot, and
Mm,
then you would go into your training. So it was classes and then exploring the park that you worked at because you have to be an expert at the park you work at,
right.
um, and then going into it. So it was a little overwhelming at
Mhm,
first,
mhm.
but there was never a day that wasn't exciting.
Oh,
It
I
was
bet.
always just something new.
I
Yeah.
bet. You wake up and you gotta go to work and oh, darn, it has to be a Disney, you know?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So these people, I don't know how many you live with, but they actually none of you guys knew each other or
No, so I
oh,
lived with five other girls, and we lived in Vista Way, which is one of the oldest Disney complexes for
okay.
housing. And
Okay.
I don't know anymore, but I think they are getting rid of Vista Way
Oh,
and
okay.
rebuilding, but I'm not for sure. Yeah,
Okay.
but we kind of found each other on Facebook and picked each other, and those girls are still some of my best friends till this day.
Oh, really? So you were told ahead of time who you were going to be sharing an apartment with or whatever? Is that
Yes. So
okay?
you can kind of, the nice thing when you get accepted into a program,
Mhm.
and I highly recommend anyone who does this, is that they have Facebook pages and groups every year for the new CPs,
Okay.
and you can post. What we did is we posted about ourselves, our likes, dislikes, if you were 21, if you weren't 21,
Right.
because you can't be in a room with someone who's 21 and have items in your
Right.
apartment if
Right.
you're under.
Right.
Um, and we just all found each other, and if you want, you can go on and you can say you want these people as your roommates, and we were just lucky enough to get all of each other.
Oh my
Um,
gosh. So
yeah,
where were they
so
from? Like were they from all North America or where were they from?
yeah,
Okay.
so I had two roommates who were from Illinois as well, but they were from the Chicago area.
Okay.
One who was actually from Michigan, one was in Tennessee, and one was Wisconsin.
Okay. Oh my gosh. So you know what? So while you were talking, there is a fellow on here. He is a cast member, and he said yes about Vista Way. They are moving all the college program students to Flamingo Crossing. So I have no idea where Flamingo Crossing is. I mean, I thought that was on the safari when you see the flamingos down there, but that's not the place, obviously. But yeah, so I guess they are upgrading things for you guys, which is nice to hear because you guys are
Yes.
super important, if not the most important, I think, in the parks. To have you guys is happy and restful and ready to face your day and everybody else you have to face, during your day.
Yeah.
Um, so, Kimmy, would you like to share any stories with us about your time there?
Yeah. There's a couple. So, one of the ones in the park, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this one or not,
Oh,
but
go say it anyways. You
with
don't have
with
to mention names. Just Spill it. It's fine.
With COVID and everything, I don't know how everything's changed, but
Right.
one of the coolest things I got to experience was actually during our Discovery Day. And I don't know if this is true, if they just told us this to make us feel more special, but they teach you how to do the Disney wave. And um, they'll take you out of the back rooms and they'll bring you into the park and where the fountains used to be. I haven't been to Epcot. I know they're doing so much
Right.
renovation
Yeah.
right now, but
Yeah.
where the fountains used to be,
Uh-huh.
there's a giant circle.
Yes.
They had us all stand in a giant circle and look at each other and practice the wave. And then they said, okay, turn around. And over the loudspeakers, it was attention Disney guests. If you could turn your attention to the inner circle, these are all your new Disney cast members. And it was just really exciting and it felt good to be recognized for coming. So that was really, really special for all of us.
Oh my gosh. Can you tell us how to do the Disney wave? Can you walk us through how you do the Disney wave?
I don't think it's really anything like different than a normal wave. You just have to smile and
Kind of.
wave. How we're all so friendly and just wave at you. That's just all it is.
Okay, because I'm trying to think, the royal wave, that's just kind of moving the top of your hand, I think back and forth or whatever. But yeah, it's you don't think about those things, but that's a detail that you got. I mean, no, I don't know if there's anybody that wouldn't know how to wave, but I would imagine that you don't want somebody like flopping around. They have to do something appropriate or whatever. But
Yeah, and it's a good question because I mean we're also trained to point in certain ways and pick up trash in a certain way. So it's a fair question.
Okay.
You never know.
Yeah, well, I do know the 2-finger point. That's you never point with 1 finger, right? You always point with
Right.
2 fingers, right? But I didn't know there was a way to pick up garbage. I mean, apart from those little what are the I have those for laundry if something falls behind my dryer, those little pincer wands or
Yeah, the
whatever.
little clippers.
Yeah. Is
Yep.
that what you were referring to, or is it actually just like
No.
oh.
Yeah. So when you are trying to pick up trash, you are not allowed to bend at your waist. You have to bend at your knees and scoop up the trash.
Okay. Well,
And it doesn't matter what role you have, if you're a princess, if you're the CEO, if you see trash, you have to pick it up.
right, right. Well, you know what? That's interesting because often I call them the suits, the ones that are not in
Mm-hmm.
a uniform or whatever. Well, they are sort of, but and they'll go by and they'll pick up garbage. I think, wow, that's really decent of them. But it's protocol too. I mean, I think it's kind of like your home, right? You don't want to have I would assume that the guests are like the guests in your home and you want to make sure
Mm-hmm.
it's clean for them, right? Or tidy at all times, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And
Okay.
that's why we have some of the cleanest parks.
Yeah, yeah, that makes total sense because I know for me, like if I'm in a grocery store and if there's a fruit or vegetable on the floor, I won't leave it. I can't leave it. I have to pick it up and I'll put it
Yeah.
aside or whatever. But yeah, I have a hard time leaving things on the floor if I see
Those
something.
are definitely Yeah, those are definitely things that go with you after the program. You'll
Oh,
never
okay.
point with one finger after that.
Oh,
Your hands always point with two or your whole hand. You'll
yeah.
always pick up trash. They never leave you.
Okay. And Michael was just saying that every cast member at Disney is a custodial cast member. So yeah, that makes
Yes.
sense for sure. And any other stories that I think you mentioned you had another story to share with us.
Yeah. I was thinking about this before you called, and I was thinking about my friends, my roommates, and I think one of the coolest things when you're a CP, I don't know if it's like this in all the housing, but it was in Vista Way. On your last week there,
Hmm.
if you turn over the coffee table in your living room and you put it on its back and have the legs standing up, you'll see all of the previous cast members who lived in that apartment left notes and signed it. And it was just a really good bonding experience for us. So I highly suggest anyone who gets to be a CP to check under your coffee tables.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that just that gets to me because there's so many people that have passed through before you and there will be more passing through after you.
And it
Wow.
was just completely full, so it was a crazy experience to flip it over and just say, "Oh my gosh, this has been here literally the whole time that we've been in this apartment and
Oh.
we're just now finding it."
Oh, isn't that lovely? Oh, I love that idea. That's so neat. I was thinking that when when you're telling me about putting the table upside down, I thought it was a signal for something or whatever.
Oh
Like the
no.
skippers that throw their or the watercraft people that throw their running shoes, their tennis shoes onto that tree, after they retire from watercraft. So I was like, oh gosh. I There's a question from somebody that's watching. They said, did you get any backstage tours while you were there? Did you?
Um, I personally did not, but I
Okay.
know my roommates did, so they got to go. I think the one I remember the most that they were telling me about is Mount Everest. They got to go back behind the ride and in it and do
Oh,
that backstage. I never did any of them.
okay. Okay. That's
Yeah, but
cool.
you get a
Wow.
lot of good opportunities to do
Wow.
that. Yeah.
Wow. So I mean, I'm trying to think here. You were there for, is it 5 months, 6 months? You started in, when did you
Well, I
start in?
started in late August and
Late
left in
August? In
January.
January. So August,
Hmm.
September, October, November, December. So 5 months roughly. That is
Hmm.
really wonderful. And I would assume that you took a lot of things from that experience and carried it over into your after Disney life, I would imagine.
I did, and it's always something I'll put on my resume. And no matter where, I mean, I work as a project coordinator in a corporate office, and to have Disney on your application is, I've been told by all my managers, something really great and really special because it says that you can work with a team really well and that you're
Okay.
always positive, and they love when you put that on your resumes.
Oh
So
gosh. Okay, that's really good to know. So, if there's somebody that is thinking about doing the college program, what kind of advice would you give them?
I would just specifically say make sure you practice your patience and have a lot of patience. It's a really fun job, but it can be extremely overwhelming at times. You're
Mhm.
dealing with tons of thousands of people and tons of different cultures. And at the end of the day, it's a customer service job.
Right.
And your main goal is to make sure that everybody who walks by you is happy and enjoying their vacation because it's a magical experience. Um, so you can't let those little things bother you because guests aren't always nice. They're not always pleasant, but you just have to you just have to suck it up and you have to move on and
Mhm.
make sure that you're that much more pleasant for the next one.
Okay.
Um,
That
it's really fun, but it is hard sometimes too.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're dealing with all kinds of personalities and people in situations that maybe haven't experienced like a hot summer in Florida, or aren't used
Mhm.
to having their family, their kids around 24/7 and all the stimulation, and also you don't really know what a person is going through, like why they've come or what they've gone through beforehand or what they're going through, right? So I always wonder about that too. I mean, you guys are always there. You're human first, but you are definitely the well, you're the ambassadors for the mouse, and and to you have to learn patience and to move on if there's somebody that is maybe not so nice, in a particular moment of
Mhm.
time. That's really good to hear. Kimmy, thank you so much for joining us tonight and sharing a little bit about your time in Disney. And do you get back to the parks? Are you able to visit them, and I mean, now or right
The
after?
last
Or?
well, the last time I went, I did the Disney Princess Run last year in February,
Oh,
and I just recently moved back about 30 minutes away from Orlando.
fun.
Haven't been yet, but I hope
Okay.
to go soon.
Oh my gosh, I'm sure you must see it in a very different light after working there.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah. And I
it's
yeah.
what you make of it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think that's wonderful. Thank you, Kimmy, again so much. And you take good
Thank you.
care. All right. Bye for
You too as
now.
well. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Oh gosh, yeah, as I said, cast members. I mean, there's so many people in the college program that go on to work full time. It's kind of like I guess a starting point for a lot of people that are able to that want to try it out, and then sometimes they continue on, sometimes they don't. A lot of times they don't. They go on to do other things, but that is absolutely wonderful. We're going to get another alumnus on the phone, and I cannot remember when she did the college program, but it was quite a few years ago compared to Kimmy. And I'm interested to know a little bit about her time there as well. So we're just going to get her on the line right now and see if there's any similarities or things of that nature that she can share with us. Um, so somebody did the CP twice. Okay.
Hello.
Hi, Sarah. Welcome to the show. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm great, Kim. Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you on. And I haven't told anybody how we met. I'll leave that for another time or maybe a little bit after the show. But I wanted to just start off with thanking you for taking the time tonight. And could you tell everybody when you did the college program?
Yeah, so I did my college program in early 2002. It was January to June. So
Okay.
it's quite a while ago. I'm coming up on 20 years
It's
ago. It's
hard to
hard to believe.
believe. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And so
Time.
where did you work in the when you were with the college program?
Yeah. So, well, I went down with the College of DuPage, which is outside of Chicago, Illinois.
Oh,
And I worked at the Contemporary Resort in merchandise. So I worked in the gift shops that were on the main concourse there where you go to get the monorail.
okay. Love that area.
Yeah.
It's changed a bit though, I would imagine since you were there.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry. Dog is in the background.
that's
Oh,
okay.
yes. So if any of your listeners have been there recently, all the shops or the shop that's in the middle of the concourse called Fantasia, that was not there. It was where the arcade is actually. So the arcade that's it's like this big long arcade that's in the concourse area. That was
Right.
actually where the Wave Lounge is.
Oh,
So lots of things have changed there since I have been a cast member. So yeah,
right. Yeah. Well,
but it was, I,
go ahead.
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, okay. No, I was just going to say, like, how did that all come about to do the college program in the first place? Like, what grabbed you to do that?
Well, it's funny. So when I started college, it was my every intention to be a travel agent. And I happened to start college about 2 weeks after 9/11 happened. So that quickly changed things and the
Oh,
internet as well. But one
oh,
of my classmates that I sat next to in my travel industry class, she had a flyer for the Disney College program presentation they were doing. So I went home, told my parents about it, and then we went back and heard a presentation from two cast members that do specifically from the college program and
mm,
told us about this unique experience of going and living in their apartments that Disney provides, and you pay, they withdraw the rent and all that stuff
mhm,
out of your paycheck,
mhm.
and you get assigned a position somewhere. You can select like what your desired areas of work would be in.
Okay.
And so I just took a chance. I applied, and my first choice was to work in merchandise, which was exciting because that's what I got selected. And I got my acceptance letter and said I would work at the Contemporary. And it was really exciting because the only ever Disney resort I'd stayed in when
Mhm.
I was in past trips to Disney was at the Contemporary. So it was very
Oh.
special for me to have
get assigned to the only place I'd ever stayed. So it really feels, and even still to this day, when I go there, it's like going back home, and it'll
Oh,
always be, my number one home. So,
oh my gosh.
and yeah, so it was it was such a wonderful experience. And anytime when in my career after that, when I have college students that are employees or people I work with, I'm like, sign up, go find out if your school does it and do it.
Mm,
So
that's so,
advocate for people doing it for sure.
yeah. So do people have to check with their particular college or university to see if there's a connection with the program, or can you just apply as a student? I wonder, did it make a difference or?
So from my experience, the way it worked was the college that I was going to had a connection with it.
Oh,
And
okay.
I had, when I went down, it was also that in addition to working at the resort as a full-time employee or
Mhm,
cast member,
mhm.
I was also going to school. So I was earning college credit. However, so I lived in an apartment with 5 other girls. So
Okay.
3 of us were having to go to school, but 3
Mm.
of them were not. So
Whoa.
some of them went just to go, but I was there also earning college credit, and I had taken a class called the Disney Practicum, which was all about how they run their business
Oh,
and Disney history and stuff. So
wow. Okay. So
I'm sure
mhm.
I'm,
Go ahead.
oh, sorry. No, you go ahead, Kim.
It's okay. No, but I mean, it's just kind of incredible because I didn't realize that you were doing classes at the same time you're working there, because working there, that's pretty exhausting, I would think, like everything you want to do. And then you want to play on your time off. So you had to squeeze that
Oh, yeah.
playtime in between work and school.
Well, yeah, so I was lucky that my class was only once a week. So
Mm.
it was, my schedule, where I worked, they knew that I was in that class. So the schedule was accommodating to that. But it was like a 2-hour class every week.
Okay.
And that was really great because I learned, they taught us how they do things and how they
Mhm.
create the magic and what it means to be a part of Disney and the pride that goes with it and the, um, you know, all the joy that comes with it and being a cast member. And the other fun thing is they had one class, they did have a Disney historian come in,
Mm.
and it was 4 hours that day. And this Disney historian basically told us from the day Walt was born into what the parks were at that time. So it crossed his whole
Wow.
life. It was a history about how he got into drawing and,
Mm.
from when he was a child to when he's running down Main Street, USA in Disneyland with arms full of toilet paper because on opening day nobody thought to
Oh.
change the toilet paper.
Oh.
And, so that was, and there's a picture of Walt holding toilet paper, and that was one of my favorite things I ever learned in the class. I don't remember much else,
Oh,
but
that's so
you know,
funny. Oh my gosh. You know, I think it really gives you an even greater sense of how big a part of you, like how big a part you play in all of it when you learn the historical part of the foundation of the guy himself. I mean, including the toilet paper, you know?
oh,
That's
oh
awesome.
yeah. I mean, I was already a Disney lover going into it. Like,
Yeah.
I grew up with Disney cartoons and Mickey Mouse, and my family had visited a handful of times when I was a child. So
Mm.
that just put me into hyperdrive as a, Disney aficionado and lover of all things Disney, as you know.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So,
One question that one of the audience members is asking because of your interest in the travel part, before you had gone into the company, but did you get to work for Walt Disney Travel for more experience in your field of choice at all? Did you ever work in that?
Oh, I did not. So on the
Okay.
college program, I stuck straight to just the merchandising.
Okay.
I did get to travel in between resorts, like they sent me to, the Yacht and Beach Club. But after like I said, at the timing when I started, it was right after 9/11 and the
Mm,
age of the internet coming. And
yeah.
um, I wanted to do that. And I had to quickly, I made the choice right after that, I think, to change my major into something else
Okay.
because I also went on the college program the second semester I started college. So I had only been in college for a semester
Oh.
and like fresh into my college career. And I went
Oh.
to Disney on the college program. So,
Oh, wow. Okay.
um,
So you were young. You were
but
one of the
unfortunately not.
Yeah, you were the one of the younger
Yes.
ones then. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
And some of the gals that you shared an apartment with, where were they from? Where did they come from?
Well, so they had us two people to a room,
Okay.
and I went down with my best friend from high school.
Oh,
And so we were both from Illinois, northern Illinois area. The other girls were from southern Illinois. Two were from Bangor, Maine, and the other one was from Raleigh, Durham, North Carolina.
okay. So all over. Now,
And
yeah. Go ahead.
yep. Well, three of them stayed there permanently, and two still work for Disney and have long careers with the company. So
Oh.
it's, to say the least, that it's a life-changing experiences for sure.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's really neat. I'd be interesting to know the statistics on uh college program folks if they actually remain, or not. I'd be curious to know. I would imagine that a lot of college program folks do actually stay. I mean, why not?
Oh,
You're
yes.
having a great time, and you're in a place that you love to work. I think that's fabulous.
Yeah.
Do you have any stories that you would like to share with us
Oh my
about your
gosh.
time?
Okay. So, yes, I have. So while I was working at the Contemporary, it was so much fun. And what was really interesting at the time is there was only about like 6 or 7 other college program cast members there working. So
Oh.
there weren't very many of us CPs, as we called ourselves. And we all got on very well and had a great time. And this one afternoon, me and two of the girls I worked with that I was very good friends with, for some miracle, we all were working the same shift, which didn't happen very often for the three of us to all be together and getting off at the same time.
Mm.
So we were working in morning, and not the best thing to do as a cast member is it was very slow. And I decided to call the Disney operator while I was at work in the gift shop.
Mhm.
And um,
Oh, hello. We can't hear you, Sarah.
oh,
Oh,
so
there now.
sorry. I'm so
That's
sorry.
okay. That's okay. You're back.
Okay, I'm sorry. Where did
So you
what
left
did you
off
last
that
hear?
you were calling the operator.
Yeah, so I called the operator to find out if there was any openings at the restaurant Cinderella's Castle
Mm.
for later in the day.
Mhm.
So they were like, "Oh yes," and so me and the two girls that I worked with, we got off work, we went down and changed out of our costumes. We went back up, got on the monorail, and went to the Magic Kingdom and went and
Mm.
ate our lunch, rode on one ride, and then went home. And that
Mm.
was a normal day for, when you work and live at Disney, because
Mm.
it was just a lot of fun. And
Mhm.
then my favorite thing I think I would say is it happened right at the beginning when I worked there was, um, as you get like through your orientation and you go to your place of work to meet everybody, you get a tour of where you work. And I had returned to work back at Disney several years later,
Mhm.
and it's the same, from every place, so you can get to know where you're working. And I had was going to get a tour of the Contemporary, and I was the only one on the tour because I was the only new person.
Okay.
So I had what felt like an extremely VIP tour of the Contemporary, where I got to go behind the scenes. I got to meet all cast members that worked in different areas of the resort. They have like a convention center. I went to the pools. I went down to the docks where you can rent boats. So if anybody is there visiting, you guys got to go down and rent the little 2-person boats. We called them mouth boats. I don't know if they're called that still, but they're the most fun you'll ever have. Going around on the lake. They're so much fun out in front of the castle. But I got to meet everybody that worked in the resort. Like, we went to the California Grill. I met the head chef. I got to go into the ballroom where Richard Nixon gave his "I am not a crook" speech.
Oh, wow.
Because it was that actually happened at the Contemporary.
Oh, gee.
And and then the biggest thrill was the person on the tour, since I was the only one there and it was just me and her. We went to the concierge floor, and she talked to the concierge and said, "Is anybody staying in the presidential suite?" And they're like, "No." And they're like, "Great, can you let us in?" And they're like, "Sure." So I got to go into the presidential suite, which is like larger than the 3-bedroom apartment I was staying in as a cast member.
Oh my gosh.
I got to go in, and it overlooks Bayview Lake, and it's this stunning, gorgeous, gigantic hotel room that's, just absolutely stunning. I think I walked around with my mouth open the whole time.
I'm thinking, trying to imagine. Oh my goodness. Boy.
So that was really fun. And then another fun experience I had was one time my manager had come up to me and had me work on a project with her. And it was to surprise some guests that were there on their honeymoon. And they were from the Orlando area, and I'm not sure of what the situation was, but they couldn't go very far, so they were only going to Disney World, or they were going to spend their honeymoon at Disney World. So the family wanted us to do some kind of a surprise for them. So while they were out at the parks during their time there, we would get all these gifts around the gift shop and go up and decorate their room while they were gone. So each time that they came back, they would come walk into their room being decorated with. One day we did the largest stuffed animals that we could get of the Fab Five. So we put Pluto by the door, like he's, the dog's waiting by the door. And we had Mickey and Minnie on a bed holding hands, and Goofy's watching TV, and Donald was in the bathroom in the bathtub. So we decorated that and got so we got to decorate it like that. And then another time we did like snacks and like the bathrobes and some apparel and stuff like that. So it was really fun, and it was part with the concierge group, so they got in on it too. So they were pulling out all the stops for us to add things, and it was just a really fun experience. And after they had come back to their rooms and they saw what was going on, I think they came and found us actually to say thank you, because they were so overwhelmed. And it was really fun to, it's just so much fun when you can do things for people and make them happy, and just you're part of the magic, and it's more than just one person. It's just this whole thing that you're part of. The fact that you can create this magic along with everybody else that's helping create it is really special.
I love that, because I know how it feels to find a little towel animal in my stateroom on the cruise ship. And, and that's always a thrill. But oh my gosh, what you guys did would have been so much fun, and just what a special honeymoon. I'm sure they would never, ever, ever forget that. And I love that. And especially it's like a surprise. You get to sneak around and you can gather those things and put them in the room. I love that. Oh my gosh.
It was fun to be a personal shopper for a day.
Yeah.
Where you're, going to walk through the shop and actually shopping and,
Yeah, for
so it was fun.
sure. Oh, I love that. There's a fellow on here, actually, he's from Canada, and he said that he was in the World Showcase Fellowship program from 1987 to 1988, which goes even like further back than what you did. But
Oh, how fun.
yeah, yeah. So I did not know that about him. I'm going to have to ask him more about that. I don't even know what the fellowship program is actually. But I will have to find out about that another time. Um, so Sarah, I mean, what what advice would you give someone that is interested in maybe trying the college program out? What is there any advice in particular you'd give them?
Yeah. So, I think it's a great opportunity. I'm really thankful that I did it because I was 19, so I was very young, but
Hmm.
it was quite a turning point in my life because it was the first time I was away from home,
Oh wow.
and it really was a very special moment in my life that I always look back on. And I'm, still in touch with several of my roommates I was, that I lived with. Um, I
Mm.
would just say, if you want to do some research, I know that they have a website that you can read on, and I think they have YouTube videos that kind of give you more. And then also with your college, find out if it's a program they offer, and or how you can get Disney to come to your school so that you can go if you wanted to get college credit. But
Mhm.
if you do go, it's a really special time. It's a lot of fun. You get to meet people from all over the world. Um, like your listener who did the fellowship program. When I was there, I don't think it was called the fellowship program. We had the international CP, so they were ICPs.
Oh,
And
okay.
so we have everything's an acronym when you're a cast member too.
Oh,
So,
okay.
but you get to meet people from all over the world and all over the country, and it's just so much fun. And Disney gives you um, you learn a lot from the company. But I would say too, as the advice is that if you go down, know that you're working for Disney. They have very strict rules.
Mhm.
And so you want to follow the guidelines that they put in place. I had a boyfriend while I was there, and he lived in an apartment that had 8 guys. And by the time our program ended, there were 2 left.
Oh, okay.
Because
So
they'd all been, they
eliminated,
all
huh?
broke the rules in some, yes,
Oh,
they broke the rules in some way or another.
okay.
And Disney is very strict on, how they operate, and
Sure.
they're, they're creating the show and you're part of it.
Right.
And so it's very important to respect what they're doing, and um,
Yeah.
just to follow their guidelines. But they give you such, you get to be a cast member. So you get to go to the parks and you get to have fun, and you get to have just a wonderful time learning a new thing, possibly depending on the job that you have.
Mhm.
And it's also it's also a big door opener if for any other jobs that you look for in the future
Right.
if you choose to leave.
Right. Right. Right.
So,
Well, and I think that's really really wise advice to definitely follow the rules, follow the protocol, and the fact that having Disney on your resume really bodes well in anything else that you want to address. I was going to share with people that are still listening here. A little bit how we met. So, believe it or not,
oh,
Sarah actually is almost my neighbor as well. And I just have to say, I'm absolutely tickled to call her my friend because when you live in the Seattle area,
mhm.
Disney seems so far away. I mean, it's at a diagonal, 3,000 miles, I think. So I actually met her several years ago now in a retail space. And I had that the same day that I met her is the day that the mock up for my first book came out. And she noticed my cell phone case, which it was another Donald Duck one, and I think my shoes, I was wearing Donald Duck shoes
Hmm.
or whatever.
Oh yeah, you had Donald shoes
Okay, and so yeah,
on.
and
Yeah,
I
your shoes.
I didn't and I didn't realize, like, I mean, you were just, I thought you were, I didn't realize you're the manager of the store. And so we kind of, as Disney folks, if you see something Disney, you do tend to start conversations with people. At least I do. And so when I was leaving the store, I was so excited to show you the book cover, because I thought, oh gosh, she's my friend. She's a Disney friend. And
Yeah, yeah.
and then you just told me that had been a cast member. I just was so surprised and so happy and tickled to actually meet somebody that had a Mickey heart like mine. Donald's my guy, but Mickey has my heart, and I loved it. We've been in touch ever since, and it's really nice.
Yeah. Well, I would say that one of the skills I learned after working at Disney was how to spot any kind of Disney emblem
Oh.
from within a mile radius.
Oh.
So
that wasn't hard to do.
Because yeah, I remember you coming in the store and you were buying something, and I saw your phone and I was like, oh, I saw your phone. I love Disney. I love Disney, and I love Donald. Oh, I love Donald. And because if I see Disney stuff, I turn into a total fool. And, and then you showed me your shoes, and then it was like, oh my God, we're BF. Did we just become best friends? Yes, we did.
That's so fun. Well, I had no idea who you were. I thought, boy, she's really chatty. She's very friendly because you're commenting all these things. And then I realized, well, of course you are, because, you're a fellow Disney lover. And that was so fun. We do have a lot of fun when we can get together. And I'm hoping that things will open up on the sooner side so that we can actually go for coffee again, But anyway, Sarah, I'm just about at my hour, and I just want to thank you again so much for coming on. We've talked about this for a while, and it was really fun. And I learned something new about you, a few things actually about you. So
yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm really happy to have, if anybody had questions or had anything, I hope that I got to maybe answer some of them or give them some, inclinations of maybe to do it, or even for someone in their family or a friend, if you know somebody, you can encourage them.
Yeah.
Because it is a really great thing to do, and it's a lot of fun.
It is, and it's always,
and you learn some stuff along the way.
Yeah. And you know what, there is somebody on here that was a former cast member that it doesn't live too far from us, so I think you guys are gonna have to meet each other. She lives about 20 minutes from me, Sarah. Actually, isn't that fun? I'll tell you about that another time. Awesome. off the program.
Yeah.
But there's also another fellow on here that is a current cast member that's been listening in on the show as well. So we've had a few cast members on here, so that's so super fun. But anyways, I will let you go. Yeah. So you have a great weekend. We'll be chatting soon, because I think we are going to have to talk about meeting up with Jessalyn, who has actually been listening to the show. She goes, yes, let's all get together, Disney sisters. I think I love that. Yeah. Oh gosh. Anyways, I will let you go.
That would be great.
Yeah, wouldn't it? Okay. Well, listen, Sarah, I'll let you go, and have a good weekend, and take care. All right.
All right. You too.
Okay,
all right. Thanks for calling.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Well, guys, we are at the bottom of the hour. Thanks so much for joining me, everybody, and for your input. And I look forward to seeing you next Friday, same time. And I'll be telling you about our guest next week. And there's going to be a few surprise videos coming up this week, because I'm just going to leave it at that. So you can kind of watch for those super fun things that are just sort of little additional videos that I'm going to do for you guys that are it's going to be kind of fun. Anyways, you guys have a wonderful weekend. It's a long weekend, and thank you so much for taking time out tonight to join me. And until we meet again, stay safe, be well, take care, and God bless. Bye for now.